I think the 4 volumes that was published by President Xi Jinping is the main soul of the future of China, is where President Xi Jinping offered the public and the China society his vision about not only Chinese society, but also by the future where the country should achieve.
Being one of the global economic engines, China has a responsibility to itself, but also to the world.
I think it's good that the government is opening itself up to the world economy, but that can't be the driver.
So what they came up with is this dual circulation. Being one of the global economic engines, China has a responsibility to itself, but also to the world. So how do you balance that? So what people don't understand about the dual circulation economy is it doesn't mean let's cut out the rest of the world. What it means is that the government anticipated that there are going to be very difficult times ahead. They said, look, we have to have a way of dealing with the situation which protects the Chinese economy from the rest of the world, especially if there's going to be a recession. So what they came up with is this dual circulation. That means that they'll control what they can control, which is the domestic markets. But they still believe that by controlling the domestic markets, by making things more efficient in terms of power usage, in terms of logistics, reducing costs, increasing efficiency, that they would attract a tremendous amount of foreign investment.
China, as I said, is now a big country. Big countries have to grow internally. And China grew in the 2000s largely through exports. Exports were growing faster than GDP. But that's not possible in the future because China's already such a large portion of the exporting market that it can't keep growing at 10% a year because it'll soon be all the market. I think it's good that the government is opening itself up to the world economy, but that can't be the driver. The main driver has to be wages of people within China, which creates the internal market.
So you have domestic market and international market. Saying that, of course, China cannot close itself because you still depend on those 2 engines. Think like airplane has 2 engines. You can fly with only 1 engine. You can, but will not fly well. So for the Chinese economy to be efficient, and you are the 2nd largest economy in the world, you still need to fly with the 2 engines.
A lot of criticism about COVID-19 zero policy. Let's look at the statistics. How many people have died in China? It's just climbed above 5,200. In America, it's been 1 million. So, look at what China's done if you want to understand it. What has China done about poverty? What has China done about social services? What has China done about the pandemic? So, pragmatic country, people should learn from it. But it's not that China doesn't have problems. It does. You know what? Every solution creates just another set of different problems. So the problems will never go away. The only issue is, do you have a government and a leadership who continues to try to solve the issues?
I think the 4 volumes that was published by President Xi Jinping is the main soul of the future of China, is where President Xi Jinping offered the public and the China society his vision about not only Chinese society, but also by the future where the country should achieve. China knows that the traditional manufacturing model cannot survive. And we have in the other side what we call digital technologies coming in. So when you're talking about the manufacturing production, you're talking about what we call upgrading. So it's the next generation of manufacturing.
So I think the idea of bringing that tech into the Internet of Things and into increasing factory productivity is a key strategy. I think every country should do that. But since China has such a manufacturing capability, bringing that tech into China's factories could create a vast increase in wealth and productivity.
So it's a situation where, China is adjusting to the reality. That's called pragmatism. You have to be pragmatic. You don't know what you don't know, and tomorrow brings new things. And when it does, you have to shift and adjust to this new reality. So that's what China's doing.
President Xi Jinping told many times that Achilles' heels of China was innovation. But innovation, as we understand, can be different types of innovation. But what President Xi Jinping's talk about is technological innovation. Is the innovation that comes from science. You can think that innovation, you can think in a tree, right? The roots of the tree are science. The tree itself is technology, and the fruits are innovation. So the only way you can have fruits if your basic roots and the tree are well taken care. So when President Xi says we need to be a science and technology country by 2050, a leading nation in innovation, that's what he means.
And the US and Europe, US in more particular, has been very good at the science end. First you need the science, then the technology. So in the West, they're still doing that. But take a look at the names on the articles that are being published. They continue to be Wang and Patel. These are people who came from all over the world and to contribute there. But now they're less welcome. People are saying, well, there are new areas of opportunity, China being one. Explosive growth compared to everywhere else. Huge market. If I'm going to do something, I want to do it in China because there's a real opportunity. China, on the other hand, has been terrific at applying science, technology, using the science to create products that people would buy. So there's been a differential, but now that's changing.